First off, I would like to ask for no personal questions since a lot of this is confidential. Secondly, I don't really consider this episode to be as horrifying by any means. It was a little dark, but only by comedy standards. Think of it as a moral oral episode, if you will. Hi, I won't be revealing my name as I would like to keep it anonymous. Just call me M for now. I contacted Miss Hawkins in regards to her and her friend's home movies saga. I mention this now because I had recently received a tape from an unknown source other than a weird email with the title Home Movies Cat Episode from an unknown sender. Now the first thing that comes to mind with the mention of cats is the teacher and principal Ron Lynch. So I instantly knew this episode was all about him. I ripped the episode to my hard drive and it turned on by itself. Weird? Just you wait. The episode opened up as normal with the little TV set flickering. I could tell by the art style that it was a later episode, sometime in Season 3 to be exact. Our first scene takes place at Brendan's house, where he was plopped on the couch with his mother Paula, and they were watching TV together. Just then, a news blurb popped up talking about a man who had a nervous breakdown and was taken to a mental institution. The identity was not revealed, further adding to the suspense. This news report gave Brendan an idea. We then cut to the basement where Brendan detailed a report to Jason and Melissa. They were going to make a movie based off said source material.
Well, who do we know that we'd consider insane?
Melissa questioned.
Well, in my opinion, I think I consider Mr. Lynch to be a little whacked in the head,
Jason responded.
I mean, think about it. All he ever talks about are school and cats,
the boy continued. Brendan sat in his chair, taking Jason's statement in.
Honestly, Jason's right.
Maybe our movie should be about Mr. Lynch, Brendan commented while tapping his chin. Plus, it would make a great Halloween special of all things. His fellow comrades looked at each other for a few seconds. Melissa, you're in charge of hiring actors, and Jason, as much as I loathe saying this, you're in charge of the script. Fast forward to about a few days later. Brendan was drawing the front cover of the script with some crayons and markers. The drawing depicted Mr. Lynch in a straitjacket with a very derpy-looking expression.
"What you doing there, Brendan?" Paula greeted as she passed by the kitchen table.
"Oh, nothing, Mom. Just finishing a script," Brendan replied happily as he finished coloring. "I'll just put these away real quick. I'm doing a table read with the guys in a couple minutes." The redhead hopped off his chair before face-planting onto the tile floor. It then faded to Brendan holding a tissue over his bleeding nose while talking to the cast. "Alright, so where's the script, Bren?" the agonizing voice of Fenton Muley asked from off-camera.
"Yeah, and am I going to play Flatfoot? I sure do have the looks of it, you know," Shannon chimed in. "Plus, I love humiliating people in the most painful and agonizing way possible," the bully added in while rubbing his two hands together. Melissa stood up. "Since Brendan can't really talk at the moment thanks to his hilarious nosebleed, Jason and I will do a dramatic reading of the story. Jason, grab the script, please," she spoke. Her overweight friend grabbed the script from the head of the table and walked over to Melissa. "And now we tell the tale of The Day Mr. Lynch Went Crazy, written by me," Jason chimed before walking back to his seat. We were then treated to a flashback to the time of the incident, where an intoxicated Lynch was stumbling through the bar with the company of Coach McGurk. "Yo, Lynch, go put a few Sinatras on the jukebox over there, would you?" McGurk smirked, giving Lynch some quarters. The coach turned back to the counter while his friend walked off. "You aren't gonna believe this, but I put crack in his drink and he doesn't even know it." McGurk then started laughing. Lynch came back and took a few sips of his vodka. You know, John, you aren't such a bad guy after all," Lynch said. "We should do this more often." McGurk rolled his eyes. "I mean, sure, just don't go all fruity like people are saying we are." The two then continued drinking and partying, and even some karaoke to add to the comedy. It then faded to the days passing, where Lynch would go through drug withdrawals and go to the black market very late hours just to get his fix. "Oh, sweet, beautiful crack!"
Lynch sighed as he had his evening dose before bumping into McGurk. Lynch, what are you doing here? McGurk asked before noticing the white line on Lynch's face, forming a cocaine mustache of sorts. Oh, I see what this is. You're on dope now, he laughed before Lynch tried to shoot him in the foot. Thankfully it missed McGurk, but knowing that Lynch attempted to shoot someone was definitely out of the normal since he was always a very laid-back guy. What the hell, dude? You need serious help, McGurk shouted before having the gun pointed to his head. Give me everything you got or I'll shoot. McGurk then gave Lynch all of his quote-unquote valuable items, as well as 1 or 2 bags of substances. Come on, Lynch, I need those pills for my gut, McGurk pleaded before Lynch took all of his pills. Thanks, John. I owe you a solid, as you owe me one too, Lynch said before walking off. We are then treated to more flashbacks of Lynch slowly losing brain cells and going batshit insane, leading to him being taken into custody and guided to a mental hospital. And we all lived happily ever after, Jason said, closing the script. The rest of the group stayed silent, wondering what the actual fuck they just heard. Did Jason really write this? It seemed a bit out of character for him to dive into something as serious as drug addiction.
Jason, where did you manage to get the impression of writing about substance abuse? Shannon asked nervously. In answer to your question, Shannon, I went out of my way to read these things called fan fictions, and they gave me some really good source material. I did have one other scene I wanted to add, but my mom took my phone away for 2 days due to the subject matter, he sighed. Brendan got up from his seat. Well, Jason, I'm really starting to wonder, what if it actually was Lynch who got taken into that institution? He pondered while being accompanied by Walter and Perry's input. Paula then calls from off camera. Brendan, someone's on the phone! She then came downstairs and handed the phone to Brendan. Brendan, I need your help! A familiar voice screeched before ending the episode. The credits rolled with a demonic image of Lynch's face in the background. He was wearing that weird cat suit from Coffins and Cradles. Interesting callback, I will admit. Update. October 21st, 2021 at 10 p.m. I spoke with Mrs. Hawkins and she said that the episode was from the lineup she mentioned in her initial post about Shannon the Killer. I do plan on posting this episode sometime in the near future, once college is done kicking me in the ass. Yours, M.